This segment is sponsored by We Buy Ugly Houses, HomeVestors.
Whether you're selling or buying, our next guest can help you navigate the local real estate market. Joining me now is Mike Hogan. He's a HomeVestors franchisee and your local We Buy Ugly Houses people. Good morning, Mike.
Hey, good morning. How's it going?
Going great. Good to see you again. There's been a lot of real estate investors that we're seeing now in the area. It seems like a flood of them, but you guys got in early and you've made a real name for yourself with the We Buy Ugly Houses. Tell us what's going on exactly right now.
Yeah, I tell you what, it's been, just like 2007, 2008, whenever we have a really good real estate market, it pulls everybody out that thinks they can be a real estate investor. And some of them do good work and some of them not so much. So unfortunately, we get a lot of DIYers in the business when the market is strong. But you know what, HomeVestors has been around for a couple of decades now. We've got 1,100 franchisees nationwide. We've got over 20 here in the Richmond market. It's been doing well for us. We have 105,000 houses that we've purchased over the last 20 years. So the good news is we know what we're doing, no doubt about it.
Okay, so before we go too far into this, I'm just amazed at these old brick walls behind. You know how to fix up old stuff. This isn't your home, is it your office, right?
This is actually my office. Yeah, this is my office. We've got an office here in Scotts Addition. But yeah, we do several houses that we have to expose the brick. And as you and I were talking about right before we came on air, it's a chore to get it done. But man, when you're done with it, it's beautiful.
It's striking for sure. All right, so the local real estate market is booming right now. What can sellers and buyers expect?
Yeah, so it's no secret. It's a crazy market. Every news channel you turn on, every newspaper you read, everybody's talking about inventory, the inventory shortage that we have. And there's no doubt there's an inventory shortage. Buyers, when you go out there right now, expect to put your best foot forward with your very first offer. We're seeing on average 5 to 6 offers for every deal that gets done. We're seeing several houses that have 20, 30, and 40 offers. Just this past weekend, we were working with a fairly high-end client that had just under $1 million house, and the house, an offer went in on that house for $200,000 over the asking price, and they still lost out. So it's a crazy market. If you're a buyer, again, put your best foot forward. If you're a seller, it's a great time to be a seller. There's no doubt about it. Most of us have built up some good equity in our houses over the last couple of years. COVID really helped with that, no doubt about it. So we've got a lot of equity in our houses, and now's a great time for sellers to sell, take advantage of that equity. If you're in a position where you're a move-up buyer, sell and use that equity to move up. If you're in a situation where you've got a house that you just need to get rid of because it needs too many repairs and you don't know what else to do with it, now's a great time to get some of that equity out of it that you do have in it and move on to whatever the next phase of your life is.
Wait a minute. We Buy Ugly Houses, but you were just talking about $1 million house. So are you going to change your name to We Buy Ugly Houses and really nice ones too?
You're right. I mean, it's We Buy Ugly Houses, but you know what? We buy good-looking houses too. We actually have a lot of buyers, especially over the last year, with the market being so crazy. Home buyers that are trying to buy houses are having trouble competing because they actually have a house to sell. And if you've got a house to sell in this market and you're trying to buy another house that's contingent upon you selling that house, you really just don't have a good chance of getting that, because you're typically competing against at least one offer that's all cash. You're competing against multiple offers that don't have a house to sell. So a lot of the houses that we're getting right now are people that are in a situation where they have to sell their house in order to buy. So they call us to buy that house so that they can get the equity out to go buy that next house. So it's not always ugly houses that we buy. We like to say we buy ugly situations. It's really the situation that we're buying. We're helping people through an ugly situation. Sometimes the situation is uglier than others, but in many cases it's nicer houses that we're buying.
Mike Hogan, thank you, buddy. Always appreciate visiting with you, and I always learn something too.
Likewise. Good to talk to you, bud. Thanks a bunch.
All righty. For more information, visit WeBuyUglyHouses.com or give them a call at 1-800-44 buyer. You'll also find them on Facebook at We Buy Ugly Houses, and HomeVestors always offer no cost or obligation home buying consultations. And there's a lot more Virginia This Morning for you to enjoy coming right up.